Hey everyone, I'm Thomas64 here, and today we're going to continue on to our Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled Adventure Mode on Classic or Sony PlayStation 4. Now, we are here, finally, into a new warp. Or at least, that's what I'm going to call it because, that's basically what it is. It's a warp room of sorts. But, no, in all seriousness, we're here to play some more races. So, I'm not going to go in there yet. I'm going to go all the way up there where Coco Park is on the map over here. Today is gonna be pretty sweet because we're getting to fight Papu Papu over here. Oh, right. Papu Papu over here.
To open this door, you must come in first place.
And the coolest part is, he has easily the best boss intro in the entire game. Easily the best. No contest. But yeah, let's get started in Coco Park. Or rather, let's get what? Oh my goodness. This is probably, I think, Coco Park is probably next, at least next to Papu's Pyramid, is probably one of the two courses in this game that underwent some of the hugest changes in the game. So, like going from OG to Nitro-Fueled. Like seriously. Like, look at this. Like, seriously, look at this. Beautiful stage. Like, compare this to the original, and then look at this. It's not even freaking... If it didn't have the same name, I would honestly think this is a different level. Or heck, even like based off of one of the Renaissance levels in... not Renaissance. Happily Ever Faster levels in Crash Tag Team Racing. It's literally only safe by namesake. But it's just crazy. Just so crazy that I'm looking at this. In fact, I'm gonna pull off like a good screen of the original, or better yet, a good clip of when I was playing this course in OG, and then look at this. It's not even comparable, bro. Like, the track design is obviously the same, but everything else is so different. In fact, even here, there was no shortcut like this in the OG. Even when I tried to make one like this, it didn't exist then. Yeah, it didn't exist back then. This is a whole different experience to what you get in the actual, like an OG. And that's something I did want to talk about. This game versus the original. I'll get to more of that on the next race. Yo, so let's talk about this thing. Now, I'm pretty sure we've all had this conversation before about the remakes versus the original counterparts. And then there's stuff like remasters, enhanced ports, flat out ports, and then like spin-offs and all that. But my thing is, this is one of those really, not necessarily special cases. I guess it is a special case, but like, it's definitely a severe case, rather. And most remakes, in fact, let's not even go far as remakes in general. Let's just go on to like Crash remakes, like for example, Insane Trilogy, or even freaking Spyro Reignited, as examples. Those remakes are of like their original counterparts, but you know, like rezzed up, different engine, all that, built from the ground up. All that cool stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry about that. Well, my point was, like how things are pretty much built from like the ground up and everything. Then you have a game like this that, you know, is also built from the ground up. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this game in particular is because, think about it for a second. When this game was first announced, we only had the idea that this game was going to be what CTR's content was, both online and stuff like that. And if that was the case, you know, obviously I'd still play the heck out of that, but it's just crazy to me when you look back and think that on top of what looked like we were just gonna get an online version of this game and a remake, we got entirely different games worth of content. Like, tag team racings like vehicles and characters. We got nitro karts, vehicles, characters, and stages. We even have velo times, for Christ's sake, which is something they knew added to Nitro-Fueled, not something they added to like Nitro Kart. Like, I think it was something in Nitro Kart, but my point is, this game actually exceeds beyond the original at this point. Even Insane Trilogy at most has 2 DLC levels, but this game has an entire game's worth of content. And a good reminder, this game was released at $40.
Congratulations, you won a
Like,
trophy.
let me rephrase that basically. Every other remake that I could think of, maybe not every other, but like a lot of other remakes I could think of, usually has something to add value to it. You know, like what most even like remasters and even enhanced ports do. They usually add something to the originals, like ideals and goals on top of what the originals brought to us, to, you know, make it to modern standards and stuff like that. This game goes beyond that, and it's kind of crazy that I'm thinking about this, because like, on top of the fact that you have most of the mechanics that the game has, the content, the characters, extra expressions, all that stuff that was built on the foundation of Insane Trilogy when it comes to remaking the game. Then you have all the extra content from entirely different games added to this and remade to the formula of OG CTR. It's like, God, this game has so much and still has so much more. Obviously, that means so to speak in a literal sense, because they're not adding more to this. And that's something else I need to remind you guys. On top of the fact that this game was going to be, I mean, it came out as Nitro Kart plus CTR at launch, with, you know, the online and stuff like that being buggy as all heck, but it had it. But the thing is like, on top of all that, we had more stuff going into it, a year's worth of more stuff into it, no less. And it's like, bruh, how do you manage to add all this stuff into it? Obviously, we wanted at least like maybe 1 or 2 more months worth of stuff, maybe. Cause like they did make the promise, they didn't make it seem like they were gonna do more with the game, but they only did like 1 more update and that's it. But other than that, we had about what, 8 months worth of content being added. 9 if you don't count the 9 if you do count the one that doesn't have like its own Grand Prix with it. And it doesn't even matter if it didn't, because if it doesn't count, because that's still 8 months worth of different seasons, different events. Heck, they even added stuff from other series like Spyro, and well, that's really it. They only added like 3 characters from Spyro. But you know what? That's not even the craziest part about it, because when they did add some stuff, they added more stuff to like the entirety of like Crash's franchise and lore and all that. We have Megamix, we have freaking Rillaroo, fixed Rillaroo too. I still enjoy that part. They made it a whole other character. Like, fixed Rillaroo, like Nina. Nina wasn't even a character in the first 2 racing games. Obviously tag team racing, but like, it's like, oh my god. No, in fact, let me talk about Embryo. Embryo wasn't even a character at all in the racing games, and they brought him in. It's just, and there's just so much more. But if I talk more about this video is going to be too long. But let's talk about this area. Oh my gosh, Dingo Canyon, my home. Now, my favorite track in the game, in like the CTR portion of this game, is still Sewer Speedway. It's just like, ever since I got that fake Crash costume, and the more I play on this course, especially when it came to developer times, the more this is actually starting to grow on me, especially with the theme and everything. Not just this one, but the Legacy version as well. And I definitely want to play this more online, but this course really does not show up that often on there. Not a huge complaint, mind you, because we still get some other ones. Heck, Electron Avenue is still kind of lit, but, you know. I understand a lot of people aren't going to be down to playing that all the time. That's like just too long. But yo, that's just kind of like my stances on a lot of things what I was just talking about. Like, the fact that this game is one of those remakes that far exceeds the original. Like, there's a couple of very niche things that I think speedrunners would like the original more on than what this game has to offer, especially since there are some random elements this game has as well, like some really deep stuff in the game. But if you're not all about that, this game is definitely the way to go. This is one of those games I would argue can worryingly, I guess, that can just like concernably replace the original in the fact that there's so much more of what this game has to offer. Like, it offers what the original has in its foundation, and then what the other games had to offer in its foundations and content, and then even more than that. So it's like it has its own identity, it serves as a remake, and it stands on its own. Like, when you do that with a remake, don't you think you'd be a little bit concerned? But yo, before I get onto that, after I think the results screen on this comes the best cutscene in the game. No, hands down the best cutscene in the game.
Papu much tired of watching puny slugs race so slow. Papu wanting action to lay Boom down big and prove Papu is world's best driver. Papu moves so fast, you munch tracks.
Do you need any more convincing that this is the best cutscene in the game? If you do, I think this game might not be for you. Nah, I'm just kidding. But like, here we go. Papu Papu's fight, and we're going to finally go back to adore the graphics. Just look at it. Just look at it in all of its glory. Just feels so great looking at it all. And if I didn't get a good hit. That's okay. But yeah. As much as I love the appeal of the visuals in this place, sadly the boss fight is more the same. Like, oh my gosh. That was kind of lucky. But yeah, like, looking at this, keep in mind, this was technically the first area of the game we've seen in Nitro-Fueled style. When the game like first got revealed back in the Game Awards, and it's like, yo, it's sending me back, because like on top of that, it was actually one of the playable courses in the demo build that came with it on PAX. Like, it was this, I think Polar Pass, and then what was it, Clockwork Wampa. I know there was another course, but I'm not sure if it, no, Electron Avenue. It wasn't Polar Pass, it was Electron Avenue. Oh my freaking god. When I looked at that course, when it first came out, jeez, it was crazy when I was playing that. Like, okay, I wasn't actually playing it, but like, I wish I was. High key, I wish I was playing the build, but what we're playing now is basically that. Like, people were getting lapped over not keeping flames and all that. It was just a fun time, because like watching everyone who's playing the game was like, yeah, I know how this game's actually gonna go when it comes out. And lo and behold, we're here.
Papu not himself today. Maybe Papu not eating a big breakfast. You are fast for being so small. Here's key to help. Oxide much bigger problem for you. Him not as big, but him much more grumpy.
And with that, we got a new door unlocked to the icicle. But before we do that, there's actually another door we need to unlock real quick. Oh wait, am I? Yeah, I'm going the wrong way. Wait, actually, I'll go through here. It's a lot quicker since, unfortunately, this game still has no means of quick travel, which kind of sucks because I thought they were gonna do something with that with the progression screen. But sadly, that's not the case. So yeah, you get a quick sneak peek around this area here before we end up ending the video, because I'm trying to go to this door over here that takes us straight back to Insanity Beach. We won't need it, but I just wanted to get it unlocked. There we go. So let me go right back into the temple area, because as much as I would love to jump straight into this, we still have all the other stuff to take care of. The coins and of course the relics. Oh my goodness. It just feels so good like looking at all this again. Like, I've said this before, but like, it's just, that's just the beauty of this game. I never get tired of looking at it while I'm playing it. And it's just, and then there's also the music and then all that good stuff. But yeah, let me stop because I'm really just stretching the video at this point. So, this is Artorius' voice. Thank you guys for watching. And in the next part, we will be continuing onwards with the temple warp room by getting all the CTR tokens and the relics. That's weird. Okay, that was weird. Like, is there like a waiting time? Cause like, all right. Anyway, stay safe, stay healthy, stay insane. But of course, stay warped to the next speed.